welcome everybody to my annual year-end series for 2016. What a year it's been. You guys are going to really like this one. This one is a new category to my year-end series. And of course, it's a new series because, it's a new addition to the series because we never really had this before. It's VR. It's VR. Best VR games, specifically PlayStation 4. Now, I did not add any of these games to my Game of the Year list or my honorable mention list because I wanted to dedicate them, since it's their first debut year, I wanted to give them their own space, and I wanted to dedicate a whole list and category to VR, PlayStation VR. As you know, if you've been following me through the year and following me since October through the launch, we had a huge, massive giveaway. We had a huge, massive launch marathon. I absolutely love PlayStation VR. I am completely sold on it. I'm absolutely loving it. We just played Star Wars in VR. We just played Call of Duty. A lot of new VR games that I've been downloading and buying, both physical and digital. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it and enjoying VR. One of the things that I really, really love about the platform is I love seeing people's reactions. I like having people come in my room that don't necessarily play a lot of video games or they don't know anything about VR and really selling them on it. You know, I've had people that left that said, I'm going to go buy one for my son or I'm going to go get one. That's awesome. I've seen people that are really like just in awe of it. It's really something to watch. It's like, you know, watching a movie with somebody and you already know how the movie ends and you're watching their reaction. It's very simple. It's very similar. So what I did was there was a lot of VR games and I could talk about them for hours, every game. But just like I did I'm going to do my honorable mention of my game of the year, I can't mention every game of the year and talk about every one. So I had to scale it down. So we're going to talk about a few here. But just know that I've played pretty much every VR game out there, every PlayStation. I mean, digital, indie, physical. I've played a ton of them. I mean, the launch lineup, I bought the whole lineup. I've been really into it. And I do play pretty much every game of the year. I mean, I play a lot of them. There's very few that I don't get to. Not just VR, in general. That's why a lot of people really enjoy my year-end series because they know it's truthful, because they know it's coming from somebody that plays probably more games than people in mainstream gaming media. Believe me, like journalists on these big sites. Trust me, I play a lot. So here's my thoughts on the top VR games that I enjoyed, and then I'll give it a winner like I do every category in this series. Because we have to have a winner, right? We have to have, you know, who's the winner. And the way that I come up with my winners for all my year-end series awards is how I enjoyed it personally. It's not really a technical thing. It's not what had this many game modes, what has this many viewer player base. It comes down to did I really, really enjoy it and what game had the most memorable experiences for me. And that's how I come across it. I don't look at anything else outside of my head of what I enjoyed about a game. You may not agree with it. You may say, where'd that come from? It's just how I do my reviews and my game awards. I've always done that. I'll do that for the game of the year, honorable mention. I'm also doing best shooters. It's what game really speaks to me personally. Remember, this is a personal list, okay? So, one of the really, really good VR experiences. I call them experiences because they're not really, a lot of them aren't full-fledged games, but most of them are experiences, which is not a bad thing. I would have to say the Ocean Descent off of VR Worlds. The first thing that I have people try when they come into my room is go in that shark tank, go, you know, and drop down in the water. You got to see their reactions. It's absolutely priceless. And I like to show demos of that off of VR. I think that works great instead of giving them like a whole game to play. I'll do that too, but I like to start off with an experience where they just sit. They don't have to worry about controls, especially if they're not a gamer, and they could really enjoy VR for what it's for. So that's a good one. The London Heist off that disc is also a really good one. That's a really cool experience. I absolutely enjoyed Drive Club VR. I thought that was a really good game. We don't have Gran Turismo yet, so Drive Club is a really great racing game for VR, and I thought the graphics were great. And I know a lot of mainstream reviewers were saying that they got sea legs and they got very sick. I gotta be honest with you, I haven't felt any of that with hardly any of these games. And I've had people come over and play Drive Club, and they had no problem with it. As far as like a full featured game, that's probably one of the biggest VR games you could get. I mean, there's a lot of meat to it. It's pretty beefy. A lot of tracks, a lot of cars, a lot of customization. It is a $40 game, but it's well worth it, especially if you love racing. There's nothing like a racing VR game. It's excellent. I was a big fan of the original Drive Club, too. I know I had a lot of problems in the beginning, but I did enjoy it. So I would say, let's get right to the best of the best. A really good VR game is Res Infinite. That game is absolutely a work of art. It's hard to explain, but you definitely got to go back on my marathon coverage and check the game out, me playing it. There is also a demo of the game, so if you're not sure if you want to buy it, you can actually, when you buy the PlayStation VR, either the bundle or the regular standard version, you get a 18, I think there's like 18 something games on it, a demo disc that you could try. A lot of demos out. Res Infinite is on there, so you want to try that out. It's really an amazing artsy style type of game. There's a newer one that recently came out. I actually bought a physical copy of it. It's called Robinson the Journey. That is a really amazing game. Great graphics, really fun. I would put it, experience / game. It's got a little bit of both. You could definitely throw anybody on there and they'll figure it out. It's not too complicated. And it's actually got some really cool graphics. It's got some neat dinosaurs and neat environments and set pieces. Robinson the Journey, you definitely want to check that one out. Of course, there's Job Simulator that has been floating around VR headsets for a while now. It is on PlayStation VR. It's fun as ever. Word of note, you do have to have quite a bit of room. That's another thing to note, too, about a lot of these games. Some of these games, you need a lot of room. There's a game that I absolutely love, and it's called Super Hypercube. It's almost like, if you could imagine, almost like Tetris, but in 3D. But it really works because you can't see the puzzle in front of you because you have the block in front of you. And it's almost like this 80s retro kind of colored game, like you would think like that would be around in the early 90s or late 80s. It's really cool. It's like a Technicolor. Very vivid, very bright, and cheery, and you actually really use the VR's capability because you can't see the shape that the block has to fit in. You could rotate it like Tetris, you could turn it. So what you have to do is you have to take your head and you have to look in front of it and go like this and look and see what the shape is. And you only have a certain amount of time to fit the shape, the block into that shape, or you'll hit the wall. And then what starts happening is once it starts speeding up, the wall itself starts changing. So you have to find it and boom, you have to hit the boost button. And it gets harder and harder and faster. It seems simple, but man, oh man, is it fun. It's a ton of fun. It's very addicting. There's also a game called Tumble, which is where it sounds simple, but it's really amazing. You build blocks almost like Jenga, and they give you a certain height, and you have to take those blocks and reach that height without knocking them down. Really fun. These games really wouldn't do anything without VR. They would be flat, stale games, in my opinion. But because they're in VR, it really adds a lot to the game. All right, let's start talking about the really good games. Here's my top, and I'll tell you my winner. Here They Lie is a really scary game. It works great in VR. You want to talk about jump scares, and it's just a demented, weird, wild game. All right, I've been playing the Resident Evil Beginning Hour demo in VR. That's scary, but this is not just scary. This is mind trippy. It's just like the whole game you're like, what is happening? And this is on the demo disc also, but I went and purchased it because I liked it so much. It's like $20. And it's definitely a game that you guys need to check out. Here They Lie. Check it out, especially if you're into survival horror and puzzles and scariness. This is like a dream to have in VR. These are the perfect games to have in virtual reality. Scary games, definitely. Another excellent game, Batman VR. Batman Arkham VR. What an experience. Let me tell you something. If you're a Batman fan, you are going to flip out with this game. This is also another game where you have to stand and walk around and get some room going. But this is a really amazing game. Some great set pieces, some great characters, stunning graphics. There were parts in this game where I just said, wow, this is mind-blowing. You don't have to be crazy about Batman to really enjoy this game, but let me tell you, if you love Batman, you are gonna feel like Batman. There's a part where you actually, put the helmet on and put the gloves on and the Batarang. It's just, you feel like a superhero. How awesome is that? Wow. This almost won this award. I mean, I had to think about it. I had to think. I can't name more than one winner. So I had to really think, and let me tell you, Batman came close. The next game that is the winner, second to the winner, second place, that was third. Second would have to go to Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood is awesome. This was very close until recently. This was actually at one point was my number one for a long time. First of all, it was something very special to me because it was the first game that I ever tried out in VR, so it was completely mind-blowing. I absolutely love the franchise it's behind, Until Dawn, even though it has really nothing to do with the game. It's just the theme of it. Until Dawn was almost my game of the year last year, right under Fallout 4. And it's a roller coaster themed ride, which is awesome. You use the two motion controls, you got the guns. It's a blast. It's the most addicting thing I've ever played. I remember I never moved to the second VR game, and I bought the whole launch lineup. I never moved till hours later. I said, I don't want to take this off. I had people come over. I was like, you got to try Rush of Blood. It's awesome. They're going up and down the roller coaster and shooting the scary guys and jumping. This game was so close to being my winner, only because I personally love on-rail shooters, roller coasters, and Until Dawn. So this was like really near and dear to me. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was a quality game. I actually liked it way more than I thought, because when I found out it wasn't an Until Dawn game, I was so let down. I was like, oh man, this sucks. I thought it was Until Dawn or like the next chapter in VR. And when I found out it was like a roller coaster shooting game, I was like, I don't know. But man, I am completely sold. I would love a sequel to this. Like with more courses. And the winner of my VR games of 2016 is Thumper. That's right, Thumper. You can check out the demo. I advise you just buy it on the PSN store. It's pretty cheap. I think it was like 15, 20 bucks, whatever. You can actually play this game without VR, but there's a VR mode. This game is absolutely awesome. It's like a rhythm type game, almost like Guitar Hero in VR. We got to hit certain buttons at a certain time with the beat, but you also have to do turns and slides, and the graphics are stunning. The music is stunning. The art style is stunning. This game hit me hard like a rock. This game really made a soft spot in me. I got my mother hooked on this, and she doesn't really play games. I got my dad hooked on this. I got my friends and cousin and neighbors hooked on this. This game is sick. There's boss battles. There's like these big faces that come at you. It almost like you're in some kind of like 80s, 90s VR movie. You feel like you're inside of like a computer chip. You know, it's like, it's really weird. It's head trippy. It's almost like you're at a Pink Floyd concert. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. Between the sound, the music, and you're actually playing as like a little beetle, like one of those little beetles, like with the wings. It's fast. It gets tough. It gets technical. You got to get your reflexes going, man. But it's a work of art. And out of all the VR games, there were some really good ones. This one left the most impression. It really did. I base games on the end of the day how addicting they were, and I couldn't put Thumper down. I'll tell you what. The second that I got done with the demo, I took the demo disc out. I went on PSN and I bought it. I said, "That's it. I got it. Where does this pick up? The demo's done. I need more." I was gonna play the demo again and again and again. I said, "No, I'm buying the retail. You know, they earn my $15, $20, whatever it was. It wasn't that much." So you definitely need to check out all the games I mentioned, but you definitely need to check out Thumper. That game really struck a chord with me, and I just love it. You know what I mean? I absolutely love it. No. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me for my Best of VR 2016 Game Awards show. No high production, no stupidness, no paid advertising. From the heart, real, truthful, Murray and J08. That's my winner. Take care, and I will see you on the next year-end series Game Awards show.